You know, it's been a long time since I talked to you directly, like maybe in a personal way like this. But I want to say to all of you out there, thank you for the many birthday wishes that I got. And it's great because now I'm 60. And being 60 years old, you know, in Japan is a very special time. It's a time to reflect on your past and your successes and what you've done. But in America, 60 is just, you know, the beginning of the thinking or the retirement. Some people who have very successful jobs and lots of money have already retired. Or some of us are just still working until the time that we're tired of working or we can afford to retire. I don't know which one I'm at, but I'm not tired of working. I enjoy working, and am I rich enough to call it quits? Yeah, nobody's that rich at this moment. So I'll keep going until they say, you know, Mark, we don't need you anymore. But I want to say thank you for the birthday wishes and making me reflect on 60 years of life on this planet and of all the people that I've met in the past 60 years and all the things that have happened to me. To think about it, 9/11 just happened, right? You know, that's 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I was 40. I remember watching the television news here in Japan when 9/11 happened because at 9 something p.m. in the evening here, they're always showing world news and they go into the local news. And the world news, they just happen to have a special report, ABC, I believe, from New York. And I saw the plane hit the tower. I saw the whole thing and I saw it unfold before my eyes. And I remember the next day going to work. I was a principal of a high school, and I remember being contacted by the local TV stations here in Japan and asked for comments on how I felt or what was happening in America. And, you know, I really don't remember what I said, but I know what I felt, and I remember the feeling is that, you know, what's going on? What has happened that we suffered this way, where we're suffering this way, we're a victim to this, or did we do something? Is this something that you know, are we still paying a price for the mistakes and the transgressions of our ancestors? Are we still that shallow where we have to dig up the past to justify what we do now? I don't know. I don't know what I said. I probably was very bland and very basic, but that happened 20 years ago. When I was 40. Now I'm 60, and here we are, we're pulling out of Afghanistan and the war on terror, you know, and whatever you want to label it, or whatever it was labeled. You know, being here in Japan, I didn't feel the impact as an Americans do. What I felt, though, was simply the effect that American society has on the world. And that's probably the one big thing that I've learned in my 30 years here in Japan, is that what America does or has done has an effect on the world at large. Markets, businesses, travel, to a lesser extent, culture. It's not as prevalent as it was 30 years ago when I came here, when American music or American movies were a really big thing. In Japan, they're still big, but really not as big as it used to be. We don't desire to have to copy or to look at American movies. Now, as I watch Japanese television, there's a lot of effect from around the world now. They look at Europe a lot. They look at Australia or New Zealand or Singapore, Hong Kong, China, Korea. You know, there's a lot more of an international flavor of influence in TV shows and in music. You know, these cultural things now that we took for granted being American and are no longer American. They're international. They're everybody. Everybody has their pop music. Everybody has now their own style of television. Sports even. I mean, we used to look to America for sports, especially, you know, baseball. But Japanese baseball is very different than American baseball. It's just as good, but in a different way. You know, and you can see it with Japanese players who have gone to America and have had good success. Since Nomo, in Ichiro, and now you have Otani with the Angels. I mean, you can see the success of Japanese individuals in sports. The past Olympics that just happened here in Japan during the pandemic, the Japanese athletes had a lot of great success that I didn't expect, especially the Japanese women's basketball team. They got the silver medal. They got in only because Japan was hosting the Olympics. They got an automatic bid. But they worked hard and they adapted basketball to their size and their style and their speed and their technique, Japanese and Asian techniques, and made it successful. And getting us, they wanted gold. Everyone wants gold medal, but they knew that America was there. They knew that. They knew that was the hurdle. They had to beat everybody to get the chance to play America. And they lost to America, and America handled them very well, very easily, actually. But the Japanese team was so proud to have a chance to even be there and to do that successful. Man, it made me proud as a former women's basketball coach here in Japan. That was the greatest thing that I experienced in the Olympics. The Paralympics, I saw things that I've never seen before in athletes. The techniques and the materials and the technology that we use now to enable us to do sports, do these kind of physical activities, amazing. We have come so far as a society, and I can see it from this side, being in Japan, and an American living in Japan. I could see all of these things from this side, and it's incredible. It's incredible. I don't remember when I was in America being able to see so much international development, international improvement, international influence when I was living in America. I didn't see that there. I kind of was blocked or blinded to it, or the overwhelming strength and power and spirit of the American culture blocked those things out. Yes, that was good, but this is America kind of thing. And here in Japan, I've learned to look at all of it differently. I look at it as a kind of a success that is beneficial for all people, even from America. Whatever we take from all these different cultures around the world creates a great success for all of us. I mean, IT, sports, culture, music, everything, it's all good. It all works for our benefits, and I'm really looking forward to that. We need to go on. I'm looking 40, when I was 40, and we're looking at, terrorism and things like that are going to affect, but now 20 years we're out of that. It's time to go forward. Whatever happens in these different countries, as an American citizen, as I look at it now, being here, all these countries need to develop and fight the struggle. They need to struggle within themselves. You understand? This is the point of my whole caption of this is, what I think from this point of view is that it is important that we watch and we help our neighbors, we help our friends, we help those in need, whether they're local, next door, in the community, city, state, prefecture, or whatever, or in other countries, when necessary. But when something happens bad, it's not necessary for us to jump in and try to take over or try to re-influence, because the problem is, I think, this is my thought only, my opinion, I think our good intentions are taken over by people who have different kinds of intentions. Their intention is not the same as us going in. And what happens is our good intentions are taken over by other elements that turn it into something else. And that's not good. And we can't control it. It's human nature. I've seen it over time and history, and you're witnessing it now. So I just wanted to set up this kind of channel, first of all, to say thank you for the birthday wishes, and to reflect a little bit on what I've been doing the last 30 years here in Japan, and to look forward. I want to set up this podcast, this broadcast for all of you, and just to share my thoughts. I've been around 60 years, and maybe I do have something to share. A lot of people have asked me, Mark, why don't you make a comment? Why don't you say this? I say, I don't want to. Stay out of it. Just do whatever. Then maybe I'll start sharing a little bit. So I'm going to set up this channel, and I welcome all of you to jump in and to ask me questions, and ask me what do you think, and then I will just answer, this is what I think, and I'll go from there. In the future, I want to talk more about music and what my future retirement's going to be doing, and the kind of the new things I want to pursue. There's so much I want to do. Being 60 has not really signaled the end of what I want to do. It's actually signaling the beginning of what I need to do. And I need to do lots of things, and I'm going to do that. Now, this is my classroom currently. I'm in my classroom. I will be from different venues. I will do this kind of broadcast. Who knows? I could be in a Starbucks. I could be on the street. I could be in the garden or on the park, on the beach, whatever. I'm going to just make this a free and open discussion, and to talk about things that matter to me, and maybe they matter to you. So thank you for listening, and I thank you all again for the birthday wishes, and I hope all of you good peace and love and good health, because we need it. Pandemic, let's get through this thing. We're almost there. We're almost there. Stop quibbling. Let's focus on one thing. Get healthy. Let's get healthy in all fashions. Eating right, losing weight, getting physically strong, being active, taking the flu shots or vaccines or medicines, whatever we need to do to be healthy, let's do it. That's the best thing for all of us. Take care, everyone. Thank you.